All right.
There you go.
You're getting good at this. Wow.
Little IT guy.
Everybody got the minutes, last month's minutes. Everybody read them and comment if you have any comments.
I got one question, Dan. It says
Sure.
at the bottom, new business, about the baseline and the boulevard, suggests that the resident contacts the town advisor.
Oh, it should be advisory board.
Oh,
Let me get the advisory board, yeah.
which advisory board are we talking?
The town,
I think we told them to go right back to the town board.
Town
Town
board,
board.
the town
Then
board.
the town board, you want to.
town board. Okay, I'm gonna change it from advisory to town board. Got it. And I fix the spelling for October.
There he is.
All right.
Hey, that was good thinking, calling up the roundabout last month, so people could see it.
Oh, yeah, with the, yeah,
So,
because I mean, it's,
good heads up.
it looks smaller when you're on the road. Then you look at it overhead and it looks, to me, I don't know, it's a little deceiving.
Everybody read them? We're all good? Any other comments for the minutes?
You find being on record as walking in the parade as Winnie the Pooh?
Sure.
Okay.
They won't recognize me anyways.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Second.
On to old business.
Don't you need a vote?
Nothing new?
Got to vote.
Oh, sorry, you're right. All in favor of accepting the motions as is?
All right.
Don't want to object, okay, it passed. Okay, now we'll go on to old business. We have nothing new on South Point yet. We have nothing on Staley. The motion letter that we sent to the town board, I found out that the town board is going to be on the town board's agenda at their 1/17/2023 meeting. They're going to discuss it at that time. So we'll have to
Eric,
wait.
could you repeat that, please?
The motion letter that we sent to the town board. it's gonna
Oh,
be
the roundabout
Around about, it's going to be on your agenda for 1/17/2023.
for discussion, yes. I'd like to discuss that with the board, please.
Go ahead.
I was involved with the town and the engineering department at the time when that roundabout was being proposed. There was a signal there. They changed it to a roundabout. The New York State DOT is in charge of that intersection. They had their professional engineers design that. It is designed that the traffic, like tractor trailers and stuff, ride up on the paved center part of the median. And it is in perfect accordance with everything that they decided they're doing. So I'm kind of questioning, what is this board asking us to do?
If you look at the current roundabout designs, okay, on the Burger King side, so you get a tractor trailer coming up, coming south or north. The rear tires are going over the paved section on the circle. And then in order to try to go west on Staley Road, and they're hitting the other side, and so now you got the trucks rocking back and forth on both sides. I think if you look at current, like I said, it might have been designed, it wasn't designed, how it was designed. I believe they put the Burger King section, they paved over that at a later date. Was that not
They
correct?
did. That was correct, because there was a lot of truck traffic that was going over it. It was a straight vertical curb at the time. They changed it to a beveled curve with a paved interior
Okay. And if you
to
look,
accommodate that.
yeah, if you look at current designs that are out there, they don't have the beveled curve and or they have the paved section. It's more of a straight pavement section to go up through there. So you don't have a tractor trailer, they couldn't make it almost before they paved the Burger King side. Now they paved the Burger King side, and now you got tractor trailers going up on both ends of the thing. And if you look at current designs, it's not meeting current designs for that. I was looking for them to look and review it. When we went to the Staley Road meeting, parents were talking about tractor trailers avoiding that intersection because of the difficulties of getting through it. Tractor trailers going down Love Road and coming from other directions because they were avoiding it. And when you start moving people around to other sections like Love Road to get on, then you create another situations where you have tractor trailers down there. We talked before because people were they wanted crosswalks on Love Road. You got the South Point development coming in through there, and you have that traffic. And if you do have tractor trailers going down Love Road to avoid, the Staley Road section of the thing, it just creates another problem.
And what data do we have to support this?
Pardon?
What data do we have to support this?
Just what people were saying,
People are saying that's bull.
I understand that, but people were saying they have issues with Staley Road too, and we were all down there listening to them.
Exactly. We were.
Exactly.
And
So
we're meeting with Thermo Fisher
Mhm.
as soon as their people get back to us.
So
and tell
when-
us when we're gonna meet.
So when people are mentioning issues, just like you're having a meeting with Thermo Fisher, you look at what you currently have out there and say, should we meet with Thermo Fisher, or should we say we met with Thermo Fisher, so many years back before, why are we meeting with them again? Or why are we looking at this roundabout again? Is it not something that could be looked at in conjunction with what they're saying with what's going on with Staley Road? If you ever drove a tractor trailer and if you watch somebody trying to come up and have the rear wheels on the paved section going around the circle, and then have the front of the bus or the truck going over the paved section on the other side, it's not what I would say is a conducive roundabout for something like that. And if I look at other roundabouts that are being developed around the area, I've never seen anything that restrictive as what the Grand Island one has. And if you have other
It is
communities,
restrictive on purpose, Jack.
huh?
It's restrictive on purpose. The intent is to slow traffic down. The intent is to reduce the severity of accidents.
You're not slowing traffic down. You're just making it difficult to go over those hurdles. The traffic's not going to speed through there. If you
I
got traffic,
understand. That's why it is so constrictive.
You also have right-of-way issues there, Jack.
the
The
right,
roundabout was built within the right-of-way constraints that are at the existing intersection.
I just thought, if I'm looking at something, for an entrance into a community for that type of restriction, and I know it slows down traffic regardless of, you're not gonna have people speeding around that circle. So the real issue is, can tractor trailers adequately go over both of those things, or people are avoiding it going other streets on Grand Island?
Jack, when was the roundabout constructed?
Ooh, I don't know, a number of years ago.
Quite a few years ago, yes.
See, it
And,
was-
and I,
was
and
retired.
those, I was an opponent to it. I did not agree with the construction of that. I thought it was going to be extremely restrictive to traffic exiting and entering Grand Island. And my history tells me I was wrong.
When that went in, I really thought they would make truck exits only on Whitehaven. I didn't even think trucks would try to even go in that cycle.
Right, the Staley.
But they're designed for trucks. They're designed for fire engines as
No,
well.
but in theory, you
And
would have
for
thought
you.
they would have said trucks use exit whatever, 19 and avoid that circle.
That's an option that they still have.
I was on the town board then, and they came in with a whole PowerPoint presentation. They showed tractor trailers, they showed buses, they showed everything going in and going out of there. Now, are they tight? Yeah, it's tight, but I don't share the same concern that you do, because when I go down there and watch them come through, and just as I'm driving through there, there's guys that glide right through there like butter on bread, and there's other guys that don't. So whether it's better drivers, I don't know, but I've seen both. I've seen them jump off like you said, and I've seen guys just go with full loads on their truck, glide right through there. We had many, as John said, we had many conversations with the DOT, and there were many vocal proponent people at the meetings when it was going on to it that said, you're nuts, DOT, town board, stand up against them, don't let them build that. And, I would say that 99% of the time it runs and works most effectively for the purpose that it was designed to do.
If they paved over the Burger King section, as much as they gave you their PowerPoints, it wasn't adequate, or they wouldn't have paved over the Burger King section.
No argument there. They saw
Okay.
that it was a tight corner, and they made a change.
And so,
Jack, Jack,
The
as a
curve,
professional
it was a
engineer,
Vertical, like you
I
said,
have
it was a vertical
designed
curve. It wasn't-
projects.
It wasn't a mountable curve.
Right.
They replaced it with the mountable curve.
Yeah.
Which I think was,
As a professional engineer, I've designed projects for over 40 years. I have never once built one that was exactly as I designed it. There are always modifications.
I agree with that 100%. And I'm just looking at saying they built
And
this.
that was a
with
minor modification. All it was a pavement on that one curve from the roundabout into Staley Road on the Burger King side.
Okay, well, I'm just thinking that,
So what are you asking the town board to do here?
just asking DOT to review the design of it, see if they can come up with something better.
I really don't think it's something that we need to involve the town board in. I think it's something that we can do within this committee, and myself making a call, or our town engineer making a call. I don't think we need to take it to a town board level.
That's,
If that would be sufficient, if that's okay with you guys, I'd be happy to further that.
if somebody came along and said, somebody come, hey, make a call, and they say pound salt, John Whitney, I would accept that.
I'd be glad to do that, Jeff.
Okay.
You can call New York State DOT and have that meeting. Set that
just-
meeting up so that they can come to one of our meetings.
That makes sense. I was just looking for them to review the design of it to see if it could be improved.
Understood. Okay.
That's all.
I just don't think it needs to be taken to a town board level and out in the public, and I mean, this is public anyway, so really what's the difference?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just looking for somebody to say they reviewed it and either say yay or nay. And then if somebody else comes in to complain, we say, hey, we looked at it again. We went to
Understood.
someplace and they said
Understood.
no, and then
I
I
will-
tell people.
I will engage the New York State DOT and ask them to work with us to see if there's any way we can make improvements, or if it's fine the way it is.
I would appreciate that.
Not a problem, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Are you still gonna bring it to the board, the town board?
I don't think we need to take it to the town board. Ed.
I don't think so, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, something that can be done internally.
Okay.
Back, John, while you're here,
I'm still here.
go here.
still here.
We had the Grand Island Boulevard Baseline Road intersection.
Yes,
Okay, we had two ladies that were in here, one that was involved in an accident at that location. And what they came up with is what we've been talking about here was the alignment of Baseline Road from one side of, the boulevard to the other side. All right, did they
it
ever?
is difficult when you're trying to move north on Grand Island Boulevard and turn, and turn left from there, where
Right.
baseline comes in.
The lines aren't, the lanes aren't aligned, so when somebody's
Right.
making a left-hand turn heading south, you can't see oncoming traffic heading north.
That's correct.
And so basically, that's how she had her accident.
Yep,
Okay, that's how she had her accident.
That would be a good question for, again, that's a DOT controlled intersection, so that also would be something we should address to them.
Because she said, my recommendation to her was to go to the, go take it to the town board to see if they could do something about getting somebody to look at that intersection. Did they ever come to you? Ever come to
I
the?
did not receive anything from them, but I will also include that in my conversation with the DOT regarding the roundabout.
Okay,
Didn't we also suggest that maybe they do a delayed light in there? We had some discussion about that.
Right, right.
Again, I mean, we
Lights
can
are-
involve the GBNRTC. We can, obviously, the DOT has to be involved because it is they are control of that intersection, so.
We looked at it, the satellite image, and it looked like the left turn lanes were not lined up perfectly. There was a little offset. They weren't straight across from each
Well,
other.
maybe some simple realignment may solve the problem.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you
There was
mentioned
also
they
some
need the
talk of
delay.
having them look at making that signal a three-phase signal. So Grand Island Boulevard goes as phase one, and then east and west goes phase 2 and 3. You eliminate the left
DOT
turn,
and the other
but
one's
that's a
county.
thought.
the other part in the discussion, John, was the turning lane into Rite Aid.
Yes,
Okay, so as Greenway, the people looking, trying to make bike lanes coming up Grand Island Boulevard and restrictedness. If they could adjust those lanes over and basically eliminate the turn into Rite Aid, so you could line those streets better, and then possibly use that extra space for anybody who is riding a bicycle to make it around the corner, to make it to the pavement, shoulder pavement further up baseline. So it might be a two birds with one stone type
I think
issue.
it's three birds now, so.
Jack, I've explained to you that lane cannot be taken away because you have a lane coming into it. The lane has to follow through the intersection for X amount of feet, then blend in. You cannot take that lane away. It's in the highway design manual. It's a shell condition.
All right, just back to the original thing. If you're gonna take that to DOT, I'm sure those
No, no
ladies,
doubt.
those ladies would appreciate it, and I would
Oh,
also.
100%, Jack.
Okay, thank you, John.
So we have no new business to speak of. So let's go to roundtable. Larry, got anything? Dan?
Nope.
Jack?
I'm just gonna mention Tonawanda Street, if you see, you're talking about the Greenway looking at stuff, if you get at Hurdle Avenue and you see how they restricted that, they have a nice bike lane, okay, but nice bike lane, but then they put a median that they actually have park benches on, all right, that comes over. And really, I didn't go down there during the snowstorm, but I drove through there and you have cars parked on the outside of that median. And I'm driving down there through my car, I'm sucking in my stomach as I'm going through because there wasn't a lot of space. Okay, so if you're ever riding through there,
What are
and
we talking about, Jack?
I don't know.
I'm talking
Bike
about
lane.
Niagara Street at Hurdle.
Niagara
From
Street. at
Hurdle
Hurdle.
Avenue right down to the Peace Bridge, Dave, with all the,
I can't relate to, I don't travel that.
Well, that, it's wicked up there now. It
So-
really is.
But
If-
that has nothing to do with us.
If you ride, no, if you're riding through, just like we did with the speed humps, if you're ever over in that area, look at it. Because they're running into the same situation, Greenway, from Whitehaven to Baseline Road for lack of space. And if that was their solution over on Tonawanda Street, that might be some way that they're gonna look at suggesting for improvement there. Just be a word of the wise, so somebody comes up and brings it up someday, you had a chance to look at it and put some input into it. That's all.
Yeah, I was wondering how they handled snow removal with that median like that.
You saw it
And
too?
why would you want to sit on a bench in between traffic and traffic? It just seems
I
like the
don't
worst.
think so.
Yeah.
But somebody came up with that.
Right, right. It is strikingly different looking than what we've seen around here.
Yes.
I will give you that.
And I could see something like that on Grand Island Boulevard
Nightmare over there.
between Baseline and Whitehaven. Because there's not a lot of space.
Hopefully, we'd have some input before they do that.
I-
The main problem is that businesses there don't have enough parking. So a lot of people are parking in the bike lane. I noticed that in the warmer weather. So that you have this nice bike lane. And it looks really, it'd be great if you're biking, but then you got cars every 2-3 businesses parked in it.
And Amherst Street's. the
how would you
same
like to
way.
be the guy that had to plow that?
Yeah.
I don't know how they did it.
I have no idea.
You saw how tight it was too?
I've seen it and scratched my head.
Yeah.
Probably the brush for the bike lane. They're probably not plowing. They're probably just Rushing it.
So no comment.
It just could be a bike lane coming to a
Yeah.
town near you soon, that's all. And I say, hey, look at it, be advised.
The thing that's amazing is the bike lane is like this, and then the median between the bike lane and the thing is real wide.
Right,
It
right,
could have been a
right.
lot narrower.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
You know, there's no reason it's, for that to be that wide.
Unless it's to keep snow from the plow out when, because what's the point of
But
putting
it's
in
all
bike
parking,
lanes
I
if you
mean,
just fill it with
How many
snow?
people are riding up? I'm sure they didn't clear this, I bet the snow wasn't cleared out of the bike lane unless the bell was.
I don't know. I'm done, thank you.
Frank, anything for roundtable?
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, I don't know who you'll be talking to at DOT, but I'd certainly like to be at that meeting, and the traffic engineer from DOT should be one of the attendants. We're talking about the roundabout and talking about the intersection of Baseline and Grand Island Boulevard.
Wayne, my intent is to bring them to one of our meetings.
We'd all be here.
So you would all be here.
That would be great, but
Key people.
at the least, I've been trying to get a hold of the traffic engineer for a while, but then the snowstorm, and every time I called, his phone goes to, I think, his personal cell phone. So he
Right.
probably is out of the office or on vacation. But they need to see that intersection, Baseline and Whitehaven. Or Baseline and Grand Island
In the
Boulevard,
boulevard.
to
Understood.
really understand what the issue is. It's not apparent looking at a drawing, but it really is driving.
This, you guys all understand how this is gonna happen. I'm gonna make a phone call. We're gonna try to arrange a meeting. It's gonna get kicked around 7 ways to Sunday. And eventually it'll happen. But it's not gonna be a one and done thing. It's not the way the DOT works.
Well, maybe,
Larry can probably
maybe
attest
we
to
can
that.
sneak inside a little bit. 3 of us have been at DOT for many, many years. We know a few of the people that hide in the corners and under the
Well,
desks.
if you want to send me the right guy to get to, I'd appreciate it.
It
Don't
would
go away.
be the traffic engineer, Mike Roach.
Mike Roach.
Right.
Just send me his email address, send me his phone contact information,
I'll send it to
and I'll
you.
make that call.
One of the problems, John, with that intersection is, we talked about it at the last meeting. We did a 3-year accident study and there was one accident. And that was with the woman that was here. There was only one accident of that type. Now, we did one the previous 3 years and there was no accidents of that type. And the problem when you're talking about trying to get money to do a project, and one of the justifications is how you're gonna correct,
Warrants,
how many accidents.
warrants, exactly. You have to have a certain
And,
number of warrants.
When there's one accident in 3 years and you're competing for funds with another locations that has 5 accidents of the same type, that's
You're
correct.
100% right.
You have to go with it. So that's one of the things we're dealing with. From an operational point of view, though. I've been driving through there all the time. I'm just super careful. And I think most people do that. I know people that take a detour down like Whitehaven, and they go to the signal and just to avoid it, because they've learned to do that. But
My wife and. a
Do you
few
have
of the other gals,
documentation on
They'll
that?
pull
What's
into.
that?
they'll
Do you have
go into Roy
documentation?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, can you guys do it one at a time,
I
please?
know people that will tell me that.
Time out, like one person at a time. John can't hear if we're all talking.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead, Frank.
My wife and a few of her friends, if they're coming south, they'll pull into the Rite Aid parking lot and go back out on the boulevard
Yeah.
at the other end of the little plaza there, as opposed to trying to wait their turn to make the left at the boulevard and Baseline.
You
Anyway,
have great coping skills.
yeah, his telephone number is
Push you're not hearing us.
847-3208.
You don't hear.
All right, can you please send it to me?
Yeah,
via
we'll
email?
send it to you.
Perfect, thank you.
Betty, you have anything?
On a brighter note, I have a question. Somebody questioned me the other day about how they could send a donation to the paramedics. for the island here. They're very appreciative of all the help they've given their family over the years. And they didn't know who to address a check to, or
Yeah,
the fire department, or,
Yeah, fire company.
all right, but they wanted to go to the,
They can
First-
designate on it.
Can they do
paramedics,
that?
yeah.
all right,
EMTs, paramedics.
all right,
Gary,
we do have good people.
Chris, got anything for us? Got anything for us?
We do. On Thursday, John and I will be attending a meeting with the Thruway Authority for an update on the construction for the overpass over the Thruway on Boulevard there.
Okay.
So we'll have,
We'll have a starting date.
It look like it's on schedule. Are they saying?
the last I spoke with them, it was, so yeah. We'll know more on Thursday.
That'll eliminate some trucks at the circle.
The circle will be shut down.
That's right,
Well, no, the circle will be open.
but
You can still use the circle.
3/4 of.
yeah,
Yeah.
the bridge.
All the big trucks going to
Can
stay.
you ask him to do something
You
about
know, when
brakes?
when I first took office, I met with the Thruway Authority regarding that. They were going to move that bridge further to the north and change the run out going on to the South Grand Island Bridge heading southbound. And basically, it came down to now just changing the existing bridge, raising it up because of the clearance levels that are required under today's standards. And it was the initial preliminary design would have been way more beneficial to Grand Island because we wouldn't be eliminating the current on and off or onto the South Grand Island Bridge until they had done the improvements on the bridge as new bridge was being built. And now this is just going to be a tremendous thorn in our side, I think, guys.
I wrote
But
them as a
I
citizen.
don't direct that intersection and
I wrote them privately and they sent me a letter back saying that there's no funding for it. And in the future, they will look on that on ramp to South Grand Island Bridge. And I just laughed at the letter. Because you know, there's
But
no
there's-
future.
right, we're gonna spend $20 million building a new bridge here, but in the future, we'll maybe look at it.
Yeah.
Why don't we just spend $40 million now?
Done.
Yeah, I know. It was, that was the thing.
So this isn't gonna change that, that transition.
No, it's not.
Man,
Yep.
Again, it's gonna be a very short run out and you know the problems that occur to that with that right
Yeah.
now.
It's just gonna raise the elevation of the bridge to get the proper clearance to the new.
But look at it
standards.
this way, you'll have a lot more down speed as you come off that. highway.
Wow. No, I was hoping that, I always thought that that was gonna address that.
Yeah.
No,
It's not.
That, when I
Shoulder.
spoke with Matt Ladco from the Thruway Authority in 2020, that was the original plan,
Yeah,
was
that's
to
what I
move the
thought.
bridge further to the north.
Right.
You'd have the existing bridge still active while the new bridge was being constructed. And then there would be an interim period of transition. But apparently it went to Albany and they axed it.
No kidding.
Hmm. That's too bad. Oh, man.
Tell them to stop.
they
the
don't fix
trucks
it
with the
now.
Jake
It's not
brakes
gonna
there.
get
They're never gonna get fixed.
that's what I told them.
Not while we're alive, Larry.
They just,
Wow.
they just. poo-pooed it.
Oh, man. No, I thought this was gonna address it. I really did. I know. Yeah, okay.
What's up, Jack?
I think it'd be remiss if I didn't thank the town supervisor, town highway superintendent for a great job for the blizzard. Okay, that's traffic safety 101, and you guys did a great job, and I'm appreciative of living on Grand Island and having you guys running Grand Island to keep the road safe. So thank you.
Jack, it's very nice of you to include me in that sentiment. However, I had that much to do with it. And Mr. Crawford had all of that to do with it.
I completely
My
understand.
head goes off to him and all his employees.
Yeah.
These guys stayed 48 hours straight. They worked their butts off. They didn't kick, they didn't scream, they didn't holler, they didn't complain. They did it all.
Yep. Yeah, it
And
was,
here's the cool part about that.
What's
We
that?
had
They
meetings
complain
with
to you
the
then.
people about FEMA with respect to getting reimbursement, because this is a disaster that FEMA declared. However, snow plowing is not considered acceptable reimbursement.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't on the
The
last.
city
one.
of
Last
Buffalo will
one,
get
yeah.
it.
They will because they did snow removal. When you take and put it in loaders and you put it in dump
Yeah,
trucks and you
When you
take it
load
to
it out.
Central terminal and dump it there, you can
Different
get
code.
reimbursed for it. So that's where we,
Don't do
as a
any of
community,
Function.
I don't want to say the word, we're getting hurt.
Mhm.
We still put $100,000 in the last time and 100+ in this time too. And see what
So you can
Yeah,
get,
they throw
I
out.
think it says no.
Well, the narrative is gonna say that, we did snow plowing to keep emergency services open for this health, safety and welfare of our
And
residents
we had to go rescue vehicles.
and rescue vehicles, yeah.
Town of Tonawanda used the Belmont or the Colvin, the airplane field. That's where they were dumping all their snow.
Right, if you're removing snow, it qualified. Regular snow plowing doesn't qualify. If we take our loader down a road and dump it on the side of the road, it doesn't qualify. We're not removing it.
Mhm.
Which we
It's
had.
it's really
yeah,
just,
two voters
unless we
on.
can get what's classified as snow assistance. And I have approached Congressman Brian Higgins about working on that to get us to that level along with Angelo Morinello. But it's a FEMA thing, so I have to go federal. And we're trying, but I don't know what success rate we'll have.
Well, trying's a big word.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can wish in one hand and do something in the other and tell me which one will fill up first.
Okay, then, moving on. What I have on the round table, in the future, I would like the person making the motion, write the motion. I will help you with it. And then obviously put it on letterhead and give it to the town board if we have to. But I think the motion should come from the person making the motion. And I also got a comment made about discussions and our discussions sometimes on one topic going way too long. So we have to maybe consider that because there's only so many ways you can beat a dead horse. So once it's been made and we can move on into the discussion. That's all I got. So with that said, I'd like to make a motion to.
I'll make the motion
You want to make the motion?
to what? Adjourn. the
Adjourn
meeting?
the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
okay, then you gotta write it.
You guys,
I'll make-
could you write it down?
I make a motion.
Who's gonna second? it? No, sorry, I missed that.
Nobody seconded.
I'll
it yet,
second,
so
I
we-
can, I can second.
Dan, you gonna second it?
Yeah, I'll second. I just mean, because then I can.
We're having a meeting on Valentine's Day, so remember. to bring
7:31.
your sweethearts.
Oh.
Meeting is over.
Thank you, John.
Meeting's
Thank you
adjourned,
very
John.
much.
For the rest of January.
You can control the discussion.
Time to start working on
I think
taxes.
we talked about
All right,
it.
I've been-